It's Wednesday. You know what that means. It's time for the latest live weekly event from Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, the first weekly event in Season 3. We've of course got April Fools, valid up until the 2nd of April. Legendary driver Ryan Wild is taking charge of Solar Crown. Complete his challenges to earn a big reward. It is another outfit, guys. It is another avatar cosmetic, but I actually quite like it. I'm probably not going to use it, but it's actually quite a nice avatar outfit. Let's talk about the races, however, for my brother Chris. A 3.8 mile sprint, 98% gravel, 2% asphalt in the Audi Q7 V12 TDI with a max RP of 640. I've had to buy the car for this race. On to the second one. It's going to be a Marmite race. Ground Beetle, 3 mile domination, 78% gravel, 22% asphalt in the Volkswagen Beetle Buggy with a max RP 450. Not everybody's going to be able to do that. If you haven't already found a car, you're probably going to have to find it to complete that race. Well, you're going to have to. Lastly, Beetle Buggy, a 3.5 mile 2-lap, 90% gravel, 10% asphalt race in the Cientero Renita with a max RP of 700. That's a massive Marmite race for me. I'm on the negative side. I don't like the vehicle. I hate driving it. But it is what it is. We'll get through it in today's update. But of course, I did have to go and buy that Audi Q7. And of course, in the latest patch for Season 3, we can now open up that sunroof. If that's big for you guys, fantastic. But unfortunately, we're on Hong Kong Island, we're crashing, and it's raining. We can't open up the sunroof. What a surprise. One thing that is actually starting to irritate me, and it genuinely is starting to irritate me with the game. Why is every night time in Hong Kong raining? To my knowledge, I have not seen a dry nighttime Hong Kong Island. It's frustrating to say the least. It would be beautifully scenic if we can have a nighttime drive on the drive. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I've just missed it. But to my knowledge, I've not seen a dry nighttime Hong Kong. Regardless of that, enough of me moaning. We're going to crack on with the racing that we've got today. The first three races, of course, on Hong Kong Island. We're going to touch on, for my brother Chris, the 3.8 mile sprint in the Q7 V12 TDI. And it's an off-road race. You guys know I love the off-road race, and we're going to come in the same format as we have been. Knock that AI difficulty up to expert. I've done no tuning for this car. We can see this is happening live 8 AM this morning. Wanted to get a few races in before the servers went down for maintenance, so I did run into the game. I bought the Q7, I threw all the parts in it. I've done no tune. It's in a stock tune with every possible upgrade attached to it. So we're not going to be setting, a breakneck speed. We're probably going to be top of the leaderboard because we're getting in here at 8 AM. But I'm not chasing leaderboards for the first edition of the live weekly events. We'll maybe come back on a later video and try to challenge some of those leaderboards. But I want to have a look at the races that we have got to experience the cars that we're going to be using. Of course, starting things off in the Q7, which we've got just 3 miles on it. We literally bought it for this race. It was very pricey, I won't get away from that. It was a very expensive car, so yeah. The first two cars, the Q7 had to buy for the second car that we're going to be using, obviously the Beetle Buggy. You have to find it, so if you haven't found it, you're going to have to go away, find that to be able to complete that race. But the Q7, we're in it. What do we think of it? First of all, it does sound fantastic. It does sound like a very good car. I've been around V12 TDIs before, and they do sound absolutely ferocious. They are very, very good cars. But in game, it's not one I wanted to use. Obviously, the Urus has been my go-to off-road vehicle, but managing to expand the garage here, adding some more off-road vehicles, hell, I'm not going to complain. We all like to have some new cars, don't we? As for its off-road capabilities, in a stock tune, literally done nothing to this apart from throw every upgrade possible at it. It's far more than capable. Fitting the short gearbox, yeah, it's actually very, very good for this off-road racing. The gearbox is sufficient enough to get us through some of these tight turns. Of course, talking about the turns, this race itself is loaded with these concrete brick walls to the right and left hand sides of us. Of course, the rock faces as well. We're going to have to keep away from them with the new wall riding patch. I'm going to touch on that one a little bit later, but the aspect that we've got here is being more clinical, more critical with our racing. I absolutely love, for the most part. The Q7 is far more than capable. Of course it is for the off-road racing, like we mentioned, with the short gearbox, the off-road suspension, the off-road tyres. It's going to be fantastic. Adding on a tune to this one, we've probably got one of the best ones on the map. Now, with it being dry, we can open up that sunroof, hurrah. It really wasn't one that was bothering me all too much. Obviously, I didn't drive the car, I didn't own the car, but it must have been bothering some people that they couldn't open up the sunroof. But there you go, you can now open up your Q7 sunroof. The race we've had here for the Q7, I would actually say has been one of the best actually, off-road races that we've had to offer in the live weekly events. You guys know I love the off-road racing in this game, and this is probably one of the better sprints out of a good selection of off-road sprints here, and it's kind of gave everything for us. We've got a lot of top-end, speeds to hit. We've got a lot of tight left-hand hairpins, right-hand hairpins, chicanes, downhills, uphills. Everything is in this race, so I would say, yeah, very good addition for this one in the Q7. Thoroughly enjoyed having this race. Now, of course, we're not setting a competitive time like I mentioned earlier. We're coming in just to discover the races. There's a lot that we can, or there's a lot that we have to do to complete this live weekly event. Again, we're going to touch on that a little bit later. But what we've got here, I think, it's a good thing. I quite like what we've got. A couple of big jumps coming up. The first one right there, we do overshoot it. We come in far too aggressively, hitting that banking on the left. We maybe could have actually carried a bit more speed and rode the banking, but it is what it is. Be cautious coming over that jump. And of course, now we come back down to the beach. We typically drive the other way along the beach, so this is the first time in a race that we're coming down this way on the beach and over one big old jump to hit that start-finish line. Crossing the finish line, a nice easy win. 10 points of 100 points required for this live weekly event. People might shrug at that one, but it's 2 race wins on every event. It's not a lot, guys. I like it. As for rewards, of course, with the difficulty level and the driver's assist, the standard rewards that we're getting there, once again, it's not bad overall. So, largely the Audi Q7 V12 TDI, that is a mouthful. Yeah, a fantastic off-road, fantastically capable car. Thoroughly enjoyed using it. Unfortunately, we can't open up that sunroof on a wet Hong Kong night. Please fix that, TDU. I would like to see some dry Hong Kong nights. But overall, a good race to kick things off in the Audi Q7. Quite enjoyed that race. I'm pretty sure all of you guys will as well. Now, I am coming in here at 8 AM. We've got 30 minutes to get a few races done here before the servers go down for 4 hours. So I'm literally rushing through these ones to get a few races on the board. So obviously we can get the video together for tonight. I would record it later, but by the time maintenance is finished, I'm going to be at the dentist, guys, and I'm not going to be able to record getting my tooth extracted. So yeah, we've kind of had to come on and get this video together nice and early so we can get something out for you all at our usual time at 6 PM UTC. But we're going to push on, head into that second race, and it is very much going to be a Marmite race. The ground Beetle 3-mile domination, 78% gravel, 22% asphalt in that Volkswagen Beetle Buggy, which of course we did have to scavenge to find. If you haven't done so, you're not going to be able to do the race. I would urge you to complete the scavenge hunt for the car. There's plenty of videos out there, guys, complete that scavenge. But as you can see, we've got Herbie here. We have given a little Herbie style livery to the Beetle Buggy here. Again, I don't have much of a tune to this one. I don't particularly like the car in game. When it did come out, it was very slow and it was largely uncompetitive. Maybe it's been patched now, I genuinely haven't driven it since. What we have done though is obviously attach all of the required upgrades for the race, and it's alright. But one thing I'm noticing right here is we've got no exhaust sound, or very minimal exhaust sound. This feels very weird and very unnatural. Perhaps it's due to the fact that the servers are going down for maintenance, but we're going to be kind to the game here. We're going to say that this is because the servers are going down for maintenance, but this is very, very bizarre. We can hear everything else, alright, but there's a lack of exhaust sound. I don't know if you guys have experienced this. I don't know if you're going to experience it when this goes live, or if you've already done the Beetle race. Let me know in the comment section. But this is very strange. I've not had this before, where I've had no exhaust noise. Anyway, we'll try and move on from that, but it is very distracting. The Beetle Buggy itself, obviously we're up against other Beetle Buggies. It's not going to be overly competitive. We are expert AI once again, and we can see we are head and shoulders ahead of the rest of the pack. So yeah, I would encourage you guys, if you've got the Buggy, you've got it tuned, you've got it upgraded, jump onto expert AI, because you're not going to have the greatest of challenges. I don't think we're going to have the greatest of challenges on these off-road races. I would like to be doing it multiplayer, but we're not going to get into that black hole now, are we? Yeah, the Buggy so far has been alright. This thing is very lively. Any power applied to this thing going around a corner, the back end will want to overtake you. So yeah, I would urge a little bit of caution coming into some of these slower corners and getting the power down. Like you can see there, the back end really wants to swing around on us at every given opportunity. A bit of counter steering, of course, is then required. Coming down into a couple little sections here, back onto the onward section. Fortunately, we tried to cut that corner short. We hit the little concrete block there right ahead of the Armco barrier. Not making a good attempt, but we can come back and we can improve on the times that we are setting in the first races for this live weekly event. I'm struggling listening to this, that the fact there's no exhaust noise, it feels so very weird. Hopefully this is just because the servers are going down for maintenance and it's not a bigger issue. I might have to cover that off in another video when we come back to address these races again. Heading on to the last little 10% of this one. And oh, for some reason we've now got exhaust noise for the last 7% of the race, whatever it might be. I don't know, guys. Hopefully it's just down to server maintenance, but we've lost exhaust noise again because we hit water. I don't have an explanation. Hopefully it's server maintenance. The race is won. Another 10 points on the board. We're now up to 20 for the 100 required to complete the live weekly event. It was actually a decent race in the Beetle. We don't love the car. Another 22,800 on the board. We don't love the Beetle. I understand that one. But I actually quite enjoyed it in that race, minus the fact we had no exhaust noise. It was actually quite enjoyable to go into it, and this is why I like coming back for these live weekly events. It puts us in cars that we typically wouldn't use, perhaps cars we don't necessarily want to use, but we end up actually having quite a good time, and I did enjoy using the Beetle there. Now obviously if we were using the Beetle up against other more capable cars, then perhaps we wouldn't have had the best of times. Nice little drift between cars there. Yeah, perhaps if we were in the Beetle against more capable cars, we wouldn't have enjoyed it as much, but being against other Beetles, unfortunately against the AI, I would have liked it to be multiplayer. I'm not getting into that. Being against other Beetles, it was actually quite fun. Enjoyed using it, throwing it about a little off-road track. Hell, why not? That's why we want these live weekly events as we come to a cataclysmic stop over towards the Buggy, the 2-lap race in the Cientero Renita. I have to be honest, I hate this car. I don't enjoy using it. I probably will not come back and retry this race. I've not even started the race, obviously. I've done it in the video, I've not started the race yet. I can already tell you guys, I'm not going to enjoy it. I don't like using the car. I don't like the physics of this car, and I did say that word. You guys out down in the test drive Discord will know where I stand on game physics. With the wall riding, yeah, I like it, but some of those little touches they need to be forgiven. Especially in a car like this that does not handle well whatsoever. I don't know what to do with this car to get it to handle well. It does not turn in. Yes, it's an off-road buggy. Yes, it needs to be thrown into these corners, but this isn't the track for that. This is slow speeds, and the Renata just doesn't enjoy it. I don't enjoy this car. I'm going to stop moaning because I don't want to have a doom and gloom video, but it's just not the car for me. The race itself is a very good race in a different car. Lots of high speeds, lots of bumps, lots of undulations, lots of nice little tight turns and kinks. It is a fantastic race that is here for the Buggy. Just not in this car. We're already 25 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack, coming down the big left-hander, the big sweeping left-hander, and the Renata dying on us. Now this is going to be interesting coming over the bridge here. We know it's not going to turn on a dime, and it certainly doesn't turn on a dime. We fall off the bridge, we go wide. We're off the race route. We need to get back on. There we go. We're back onto the race route. But coming through the little beach section here, you can just see that this thing just doesn't want to turn. Perhaps it's something I've done. If you guys have got a good tune for the Renita, you're actually getting this thing to turn at slower speeds, or there's a different way of racing this particular buggy, please let me know in the comment section. But since this game is launched, I have not gelled with this car. Perhaps it's the way it's built for me, perhaps it's the way I've got it tuned, or perhaps it's things I haven't done. If you guys can help that out, please let me know in the comment section down below. It would be greatly appreciated. Now again, we're tapping on that wall. That's where the physics do need to be altered here. Slow taps on those walls. This is so counterintuitive because I've asked for the longest time to have the wall riding nerf. But that just seems a little bit excessive, and I don't want to be the guy that says, you know, I've been asking for this for the longest time, now I've got it, I'm not happy with it. It's not the case. It's those slow speed taps that could maybe be forgiven, but if that's the sacrifice we've got to nerf wall riding, I would probably have to bend over and take it. I don't love it, but I want the lack of wall riding to be there, and that's what we've got. One thing I will actually pick up on again for this race is we've got no exhaust noise. Again, I'm going to have to assume this is down to the server maintenance that's just about to take place in about 3 minutes from now. I'm going to have to assume that that's the case. As we hit the wall and the exhaust comes back on. And it goes again. I don't have an answer, guys. It's got to be down to the server maintenance. If you're experiencing this issue with the Beetle, with the Renata in these races after the server maintenance happens, please let me know in the comments so I can take it forward to test drive down the Discord. We can put it down into the known fixes and bugs. I don't have a direct contact to be perfectly clear, but there we go, the exhaust back on now that we came out the beach and we're heading up towards the start finish line once again. If you're experiencing this, let me know in the comment section and we can post it down in their Discord as a bug in the game. Hopefully, there goes the exhaust again, guys. The Renata race is finished and I'm glad I spoke over it because I didn't enjoy it in the slightest. I liked the track, just didn't like the vehicle. Another 10 points on the board, we're 30 out of 100. We'll cover off the other 2 races in another video when the servers are back up. Another 22,800 on the board for completing out all 3 races each, giving me 22,800. But yes, we've done the first 3 races here in Hong Kong in a separate video because of the server maintenance. I'm going to cover off the Ibiza races, probably going to be in tomorrow's update, and there we go. The servers are now down, the servers are offline, just in time for us actually to finish off the first 3 races for today, guys. Short and sweet. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please smash up the like button, subscribe, all the usual good stuff. Give us some comments on the things we spoke about in today's video, guys, and stay tuned for more updates on Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown.